Hello everyone, Matthew back with Watty's channel, continuing the LJN tournament. So just kind of looking at my shelf, I'm not looking forward to the next video. There are quite a number of figures that I really love. Unlike the very first video I made, or the very first competition videos I made, I think it was the second video overall, where I was actually able to go ahead and switch wrestlers around so that the important wrestlers, the wrestlers I wanted to move forward, the wrestlers that I knew had a legitimate chance of winning this tournament would actually be in round 2, and those that were just the Roddy Pipers of the LJN world would go home like they're supposed to. Once you start getting into a lot of the black card series, you really, and of course a lot of them from there are customs and their black card series, and I'm not looking forward to getting rid of any of those figures. I mean, they're just some of my favorites. But we are going to continue on at least one more video tonight, and then once I leave my little man cave, so to speak, I am going to go upstairs and try to post these videos if I can. So I'm going to skip ahead a few wrestlers. I'm going to get to my first matchup, and it's because it's a big one. It is the $1 Million Man. Same issue with these figures, because of Series 5, they some of them are made of black paint, and you'll have facial or hand deformities with black paint kind of spreads through. This one isn't in the worst condition. The nose and hands do show some signs of paint wear. I really love the little money marker on the back. Beautiful. I don't know how I feel about the black with purple on the front. I don't remember him having purple, but it doesn't mean it wasn't there. Just like Honky Tonk Man, just like Coco Beware, some of the other figures in the LJN line that come suited, I don't mind. This is a pretty decent figure. Let me pull a Tito Santana over here. So if you do got a wrestler, he does have actually a pretty good body slam. Not a perfect, but I would say about 80% to perfect. So he does make a pretty good wrestler if you were to wrestle this figure. Again, design-wise, little pocket squares, I like it a lot. I think it's probably top 25 in my opinion. If we were going off of just original LJN produced figures and not necessarily the customs that I own, I think this would be in the top 25 on my list. I mean, I really like it a lot. Ted DiBiase, I do have a number of figures for this particular figure. So before we move forward, this is another 4 Left 3D Creations LJN wrestling stand by David Garland on Etsy. This is just perfect. I mean, I love these stands. They're incredible. And like I said before, nobody's paying me to say these things. I'm not sponsored by anybody. I haven't even posted a single video yet, so you guys know that. I just believe about paying things forward. And David Garland, his wrestling stands are incredible. So I figured, why not bring up some of the folks that have done right by me, people I buy from regularly, and let you guys know about it so that you might be able to benefit as well. So here is the original, and here is the first custom. I don't remember who I bought this custom from. It's essentially identical to this one, just a little repaint. So obviously it's a lot more shiny. The original has like maybe light brown, where this is more of a darker brown. His facial hair is obviously a whole lot darker. He does have the gold on his jacket, whereas the original had the purple. I wasn't a big fan of that, as I mentioned. The purple does block out the dollar signs, or the gold blocks out the dollar signs that the purple did have. I do like the gold money sign as opposed to the silver. So based on looks alone, and I'm not talking about because this one's faded or anything like that, I just like the gold better than the purple and silver. So in this particular instance, already off the bat, the first custom. And yes, it is first because I've got several of these figures. First custom defeats original. Now, the second custom I have is a XOX random XOX by Random Treasures. XOX Customs by Random Treasures exclusive. It is a green suited $1 Million Man. Now, when I think about the $1 Million Man, I think about Series 2 Hasbro, where they came out with the black or the green suited $1 Million Man. I don't know, but for whatever reason, for the life of me, I cannot remember $1 Million Man wearing black suits, but the green suit always pops out in my head. And this is just an incredible figure. Absolutely love it. It's beautiful. The green suit is amazing. It does have silver dollar signs on the back, as well as the front of the jacket, and of course the silver as opposed to the original purple. Just kind of looking at it, I'm wondering if I actually like this one more than the gold. Generally, I like gold more than the silver. And of course, you know, you could tell based on the make of this one. I don't know if I want to necessarily place the Random Treasure one over this, because I can't remember where I got this figure from, and it bothers me. If I had known, maybe I could talk about the seller a little bit more, and maybe that would make it a little bit more interesting for me. But for the sake of this round, I am pushing through the second custom $1 Million Man, which came from Random Treasures. Now, the last $1 Million Man that I own, another perfect figure from my friend Eric. You can see where I get a good chunk of my collection from. So this is just an absolutely beautiful figure. This beautiful belt. I don't know where this belt came from. If that belt is part of like maybe Mattel or Jack specific or something, one of those toy lines, but it fits in so beautifully with the figure overall. And like the black suited repaint, it also comes with the gold on the front of his jacket. It also comes with, of course, the black dollar signs. This one didn't actually have any dollar signs on front. It's got gold dollar sign on back. Maybe because the wrestling belt really helps, but even if we take away the belt itself, I just can't see. Either of the other three $1 Million Mans surpassing custom number 3. So Eric, you've done it again, brother. Your customs are definitely hitting it out of the ballpark. So white $1 Million Man, or white suited $1 Million Man, defeats green suit and black suit $1 Million Man. Next one, we're going to go with the referees on this one. I did recently purchase this from a seller in Canada, and it's actually in pretty good shape. Got minuscule paint loss on the shoes, but overall, just a great display piece. Beautiful blue shirt, and when you compare it to the XOX Customs white shirted referee. Now, the face itself doesn't actually look identical, which is kind of odd. They're so good at getting all the other figures to be identical to each other. But what I do like is when you look at certain details, such as how their shirt is slightly undone in the back, that's identical. That is absolute perfection. And that's why I love Random Treasures. Their attention to detail, their artwork, it's just so perfect. And of course, that smell that's on the rubber, it's just so awesome. I didn't like it when I first opened my very first package ever, but ever since, every figure I open, every belt I open, that smells awesome. Love originals. I hate to keep doing this, but XOX Customs by Random Treasures, it's really hard to pass on any of their figures. I know I have a couple that I passed on so far, but a majority of them, I think they do great work, probably even better than the originals. So I'm moving along white shirt referee over blue shirt referee. Now this Rick Martel, I guess it's supposed to be more of a the model Rick Martel type. I believe this is probably catered towards pre-WWF years. I don't know if he was in the AWA. Yes, he was. He does have his custom AWA belt on. Again, I think this is supposed to be more of a model Rick Martel, even though he's not wearing pink. And when you look at the original Rick Martel version, again, custom Random Treasures belt for the tag teams. They're both really great figures. Both amazing. Obviously, they're the same figure. Both amazing playability, good punching ability, excellent body slamming positioning of the arms. So there are a couple things, obviously, that stand out for me with the custom figure. Yes, this is a Wrestling Writer, one of his collections, one of the figures I bought from him. So that obviously holds some meaning to me. The sunglasses that are on the eyes are pretty cool. I love the little, I don't know, it's supposed to be, I guess a sweater or something wrapped around his neck. I love the blue, obviously, more than the white. I have to pass the custom over the original. They're both great figures. You couldn't have gone wrong with either one, but I just like the blue version so much more than the white. So, blue, Rick Martel does move forward. So, just like the purple Tito Santana, we got the white Tito Santana from Strikeforce. XOX Customs tag team belt has been applied. Same issues, you know, with the positioning of the arms. I think they're a little too far out, and not only are they too far out, but they're too low. You guess you could throw a good slap or a good punch. You could do like a minuscule body slam, but when you try to do that, you're essentially coming up to, you know, about the waist. You're not actually going over your shoulder, which is, you know, obviously what a body slam is. In this competition, I purchased this recently from a seller. John, if you're watching this, brother, I really appreciate this figure. It's got to be one of my favorites that I bought from you. So here is another Strikeforce Tito Santana. And I really love the fact that he's got a t-shirt on that actually says Strikeforce. That is so amazing. Overall, the exact same figure. Same white knee pads and boots. The shirt itself doesn't look like it was, you know, like they added a extra layer to make it look like he was wearing a shirt or a singlet or something. It looks like they just painted over the skin, kind of like my custom Hulk Hogan from Series 1. But that doesn't detract. This is an absolutely gorgeous, perfect figure. Display-wise, aesthetically amazing. Again, it falls in the same issue as for playability, but the custom Tito Santana does move on. Will it make it past round 2? Again, it comes down to who the competition is in round 2, but I really love this figure, and I'm glad that I get the opportunity to talk about him a little bit more at a later time. So, this is actually going by a little bit faster than I expected, which is pretty cool. Don't want to keep people too long. I think 25-30 minutes usually might be a little bit too much. So, I do have Slick here. I do have the custom hat. I purchased this from Wrestling Writer as well. This is the original figure, rubber figure. I don't see any major gray or silver paint loss on him. This actually looks like it's in really good condition. He is going up against Johnny Valiant, and I don't know, the hat accessory really makes this figure really stand out, and I actually really like this. I don't know really anything about either of these guys, to be honest. I keep talking about positioning of the hands and playability wise. Johnny Valiant has an okay body slam pose. Slick. Let me remove his hat. Actually, Slick is adequate as far as, you know, slam. Not super great. I know neither one of these guys are really going to do much in this competition. If they had gone against any other, you know, wrestler, or even so much as faced a referee, for example, they would have lost the first time around. But I do have to pick one of these guys to move forward. And so they both have really great, you know, paint schemes. You know, decent hand poses. They both have that right hand up with the finger and the thumb. I mean, that's kind of odd that they did that. You put them side by side like that. I don't know. Maybe because he has the hat. Maybe Slick has the leg up just for that one reason over Johnny Valiant. You know, he reminds me of a pimp named Slipback, so I'm going with Slick for this particular round. So Slick defeats Johnny Valiant. Man, it's crazy. I talked about this, you know, this being my last video tonight, and that I really didn't want to do the next video because of having to eliminate some really special figures. But just looking the shelf, as much as eager as I'm kind of torn. Like I'm really eager to get it done because I'm really interested. Like I'm really loving and enjoying doing this competition here, but at the same time, getting rid of figures that just mean a lot to you, that just so perfect. You know what that's going to do to you, you know, mentally. Like, man, you know that a Big Boss Man or short-haired Black Andre could easily win the whole competition, and if I put them in the next competition or the next video, you know they're going to go one-on-one, and one of them are going to be going, and that's going to be a tough choice because those are two more absolutely phenomenal figures, and I'm not looking forward to that. I think I actually am going to stop for now, try and get these videos uploaded, guys, and I think I'm as eager to hear your comments read your comments as much as I am actually doing the video and progressing through and trying to pick out my favorite LJN character. So I will not stop at this competition. Once I complete the LJNs, I am looking at doing Hasbro's. I do have the complete collection of Hasbro for the most part. Complete collection, excuse me, with asterisks, I guess. We could do Galoobs, I guess, if people are interested in that stuff. I'm starting collections on, what am I working on right now? WWE and Masters of the Universe. I've started a collection on that. I finished the Mattel Retros. I finished the LJNs. I finished the Hasbro's. I'm nearly complete with the Galoobs. I've got my last order in, but they're coming from the UK, so that's probably going to take a month or so to arrive. I'm also working on original San Francisco Toymakers. I've just got maybe about a dozen or a dozen and a half of those figures loose. Right now I'm in the process of buying those exact same figures on card, which is kind of frustrating when you're buying, you know, 10 figures for $50 and then you're getting one single carded figure for $50. That's always been a pain in the neck, but that's what I'm doing now, trying to build some collections. I'm also working on Bendy's, LJN Bendy's, LJN Thumb Wrestlers. Thank you, Jason Knopp, for that. That was kind of sarcasm. Love your channel, brother, but man, I never was a fan of thumb wrestlers before. In fact, I absolutely hated the thumb wrestlers. I thought they were just some of the ugliest toys I'd ever seen as a kid. And but I got to give New 80s Revolution credit. You know, he really got me interested into a lot of things that I normally wouldn't think twice about. And, you know, the Bendies, the thumb wrestlers especially, those are just some examples. Bendies I could deal with. I mean, they're 8-inch rubber, you know, pretty much similarity, 4.5-inch figures. But, yeah, there are a lot of lines that I'm trying to get now, even Remco's, which I absolutely hate. But I'm in the process of purchasing all the Remco's that I can. And is it wasteful? I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a fan of Remco's, but I do enjoy the hunt for figures and completing collections. That brings me a lot of joy, especially when I get to add that very last figure to my collection. There's no feeling like it, I don't think. Don't have kids, oddly enough, with all my toy collection. Of course, this is just a new deal for me. It's not something that's I've been building for decades and decades. I guess collecting wrestling figures is just something that's more recent, within the last 5 or 6 months or so. But it's been a real joy, and again, based on your guys' comments, we'll see how we move forward. If we want to do other competitions or talk about other figures, whatnot. I'm definitely interested in doing my top 10 favorites and top 10 least favorite figures. Galoob is so small. I'm thinking maybe we could probably put them in order. Let's say 15 to 1, 20 to 1, however many figures there are when it's all said and done. So I'm going to close for now, guys. I will get these videos posted, and I will hopefully talk to you all soon. Good night now.